This is One on One. We are joined by Clarelle DeGraffe, who is General Manager of PATH, otherwise known, well, it's Port Authority Trans-Hudson, right?
Correct.
Everyone knows the PATH.
Everyone knows and loves PATH.
Yeah, tell folks why, run by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, tell why PATH is so important.
PATH is important because it's a critical link to the Trans-Hudson network that includes our tunnels, bridges. PATH serves approximately 280,000 passengers on weekdays. That's how many people we move. We're the second densest transit facility, second only to New York City Transit. So we move a lot of people. People depend on us to traverse the Hudson River, and it's a short boutique ride, you know, across that river to get them to work, to get them to their loved ones, to get them to where they need to be.
I took the PATH every day from Newark, New Jersey, where I was born and raised, over to the World Trade Center, where I worked for the Port Authority back in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And it's a 20-minute ride. Yep. And some others went uptown and reliable and solid. Mm-hmm. But here's my question. Mm-hmm. With the ridership expanding so rapidly, mm-hmm. from 100,000 when it started to where you are now, almost 300,000.
Right.
How much harder is it to stay on time, keep things moving? Go ahead.
Steve, you're hitting the nail on the head. You're on point. It's not easy. It's hard. You're talking about a facility that's actually 111 years old. Even though PATH was created in 1962, the facilities actually have been in existence since 1908. So you're talking about a 111-year-old system that we are utilizing that's been upgraded and maintained to be able to move close to 300,000 people a day on a weekday. So it's not easy, but we've got a great team and dedicated and committed people, professionals, that really put everything they can into making sure that that system works every day and making it reliable.
You know, the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey is a supporter of what we do, and we've had many conversations with them offline, but obviously very important online right here on the air, about infrastructure issues. Mm-hmm. How honest a conversation are we having, Clarelle, about how aging, how old our infrastructure is, mm-hmm. what it costs to keep our infrastructure mm-hmm. where and what it needs to be in order for us to have safe mm-hmm. and reliable transportation? Is that a real conversation?
Mm-hmm. It is a real conversation.
No, are we having it to the degree we need to, is my point.
Mm-hmm. I believe we are. Our executive director and chairman, that's why we implemented the PATH Improvement Plan. This past June, PATH embarked on a very aggressive plan in order to address capacity issues as well as infrastructure issues, reducing delays.
How are you doing that? I'm sorry for interrupting. Be specific. Are you adding new cars?
Well, part of it is adding new cars. All right. Part of the plan is the additional, the procurement of additional 72 cars to our existing 350-car fleet that will help us together, partner together with the new signal system that is being implemented as we speak now, which will allow us to run more cars, closer headways. So instead of waiting the trains will run faster. Okay. So instead of waiting for a train every 3 minutes, I could wait maybe 2.5 minutes. Right now, most of our customers are waiting 4 minutes on any given peak period, 4 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes. So with the additional trains coupled together with the new signal system, which is part of the new infrastructure that we've installed, it allows us to increase our capacity. We're also making huge investment on upgrading our infrastructure, such as the signal system, making huge investment on maintaining our tunnels, maintaining our track beds.
Gateway matter? Help folks connect the dots here. I'm going to talk about New Jersey Transit in a second and its potential implications for PATH. Gateway matter to PATH?
It's not so much that Gateway matters to PATH. I believe PATH is the interim answer for Gateway.
Not long term, though,
Not
because
long
the
term.
capacity is getting
Correct.
greater and greater.
Our capacity, we have, of course, physical restrictions. We have 4 tunnels. We have limited resources. So right now, PATH is seen as that buffer to be able to handle that additional capacity. But we can only go but so far without additional tunnels.
So I'm curious about this.
So it's on an interim.
Sorry for interrupting, Clarelle. We will, by the way, have folks from New Jersey Transit on to talk about the situation there. The governor, Governor Murphy, has talked about it. Senate President Steve Sweeney has talked about it. And virtually everyone argues that it's not an opinion. It's not where it needs to be. So the question is this. You don't run New Jersey Transit. But if New Jersey Transit's having real problems, to what degree, Clarelle, does that have an impact on PATH? Because people see that as a potential alternative. Am I conflating things?
Absolutely. Remember a little while ago I talked about the Trans-Hudson Network.
Right.
New Jersey Transit is part of that
Huge.
Trans-Hudson Network. And we rely on each other because sometimes PATH doesn't work either. So we utilize, our customers will what we do is we ask New Jersey Transit what we call cross-honor or accept our passengers for the same fare.
Excuse me, when you're on that platform in Newark, as many of us have been, and you're trying to get to Midtown or wherever, you got an option.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Absolutely. So that's why it's important that we understand as railroads, we don't operate in a silo. We can't. We serve the region together with New Jersey Transit, with MTA. We're beginning
Metropolitan Transit Authority in New York
Correct.
City.
We're beginning to see ourselves and talk more as a unit, as a Trans-Hudson network that relies on each other. We learn from each other. We have a round table where we come together once every quarter and just talk about best industry practice.
Let me do this. Can we show some video post-Sandy? Talk about the impact on PATH of Sandy.
It was huge.
Oh, my gosh.
huge.
I thought I remembered.
It was huge. We were literally underwater. Several of our stations, as you can see, were literally underwater. And salt water, not just regular water, but salt water, which is corrosive and had significant impact on our critical infrastructure, had significant impact on our rails, on our substations, and we were down literally for about 3 months before we could come back to full service and be able to move people. And so we were crawling. After about a month, we started crawling, had limited service, and really did not get back. Superstorm Sandy occurred the end of October. We were not back into full service until the end of January.
So other than the challenges of getting back on track, if you will, if something horrific were to happen again like this, or even close, how prepared?
We're prepared. One of the things that happened after Sandy is we partnered with the FTA. A lot of the infrastructure that was rebuilt under Sandy was funded by the FTA.
The FTA is a Federal Transit Authority agency.
Administration.
Okay. I'm sorry with the acronyms.
That's
it's hard to
okay.
keep up.
It's hard. We live in
I hear you.
acronyms.
A few seconds left. Go ahead. You partnered with them?
Partnered with them. They subsidize us 90% of our restoration, but there were requirements. There were that we had to meet, one of which is we had to build better, build in a way that we call to be resilient, to be prepared for a future Sandy, or worse. So there were certain engineering requirements. For instance, a lot of our critical infrastructure is at a higher elevation. Our elevators have aquarium glass. Our exterior elevators, like the Hoboken elevator that was inundated with water, now has aquarium glass. So just making it that much more resilient with that. So we are prepared.
Clarelle, I want to thank you very much. PATH matters to an awful lot of people, just about 300,000 a day.
Yep, and we care.
Absolutely. Again, I want to disclose the Port Authority of New York, New Jersey that administers PATH is a supporter of what we do. I'm Steve Adubato. We'll be right back right after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Russell Berry Foundation, NJIT, the Northward Center, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, the New Jersey Education Association, Englewood Health, and by Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by Commerce and Industry Association of New Jersey and by Jaffe Communications. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.